Let's get right into it. Don't worry, we can beat procrastination. The first thing we need to do is have a start and an end time. Tomorrow I will study all day for this test. Sound familiar? This is a quick way to not actually study at all. Something I've found extremely helpful is to set certain times for studying and certain times for not studying. When I'm in that time, when I'm in that study time, it's study time. When I'm out of that time, it's not study time. For example, during the first 2 years of medical school, we would usually have this 4 or 5 hours a day laid out for us. And this was time we had to spend doing something such as anatomy lab or lectures. But during this non-exam time, I would treat school like a workday. And I would usually wake up around 6 o'clock, study from 7 to 9, go to the required things from 9 to 2, study again from 2 to 5, and then I would be done. That's it. My start time was 6 and my end time was 5. No more, no less. It helped me focus during the day, and it made sure I could also not focus after I was done for the day. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is relax. Remember Pavlov and his dogs? Well, this is a great way to stay focused. If we are always focused in our study spot, we are likely to teach our body and mind that when we are in the study spot, we are focused, we are studying. This should also apply to your breaks. You should have a place where you have breaks and stick to only doing break activities in those places. Also, never, ever, ever do break activities in your study place. Next, do the worst thing first. Eat the frog. If it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. I recently discovered this quote and agreed with it wholeheartedly. However, I've been practicing this method long before reading it. I don't know if it's because my mom used to make me and my brother do our homework before we were allowed to play outside, or if it's because I just wanted to get the sucky things over with. For example, writing essays for school, I hated writing essays for school. So what would I do? Well, I would do the school essay first, get it over with, then do the rest of my homework, and then I got to play outside. Another way to look at this is, as the day goes on, as you do more tasks, your mental strength starts to wear down. Task after task, job after job, your brain is a lot like a muscle, and like a muscle, it can wear out. Some scientists even believe the brain builds up chemicals. Toxic biomolecular accumulation, as the day goes on, is only to be cleared out after a night's sleep. Next, keep the lights on. The most recent change I've made to my studying during the study day is keeping the lights on in my apartment until my study time is over, or at the latest when it's 3 hours before bed. I used to come home and like having the lights off because it made me feel nice and calm and sleepy, but isn't that a bad feeling to have if I want to study? Light is a dominant player in the regulation of our circadian rhythm, and it seems blue light pushes us more towards this awake state, while red light says, okay, fall away from that more awake state to a more sleepy state. The light above has a large portion of this specific wavelength of light that hits our retina, which tells our brain it's daytime. The brain then turns on these awake chemicals like orexin and norepinephrine that forestall certain sleep chemicals like melatonin. So these chemicals keep us awake and keep us away from that sleepy state. So let's take action here. So have a start and an end time. Take advantage of classical conditioning. Get organized and utilize a to-do list. Do the worst thing first. Remove all distractions. Take breaks and keep the lights on.